What is up, guys, gals, and minions? It is me, Proxy, and as you can see here, I'm showing you a game called Loadout today, which is pretty freaking awesome. I've been incredibly addicted to this game, and you know what? It's free to play, which is even more awesome, because as you know, we are basically in the times now where games are coming out as free to play, but obviously you've got this whole monetization thing. You have to pay for things like the gameplay itself and stuff. But the thing about Loadout, though, is that it gives you the full game for free, which is very unusual if you think about it, don't you think? So generally, if you're playing like a game like Warframe or something, you end up getting like these weapons and things that you have to pay for and stuff, but they give you the actual core gameplay and basically all of its additions and customizations for free, which is excellent, because originally I saw this game as a trailer and it went completely over my head. I thought it looked really charming, but I thought to myself, it's going to be free to play, and there seems to be loads of different things like customization for the guns and stuff, and so you have to like pump in a lot of cash just to try and get the most out of this game. But in the end, it came out as free to play, and obviously originally it was in early access. You could put down £6.99 and you get like a bunch of bonus stuff. But what ended up happening is they brought out for free to play. A bunch of people played it, including me, and we all ended up finding out that the actual core gameplay was free. It's excellent. So we've got this whole thing where you can like make your own guns and stuff. Everything in this game, like as you can see here, I'm using a triple barrel rocket launcher. You can have things like Gatling guns, flamethrowers, Tesla coil weapons, sniper rifles. You can change like the stocks, the scopes, the barrels, the clips, the actual inner body parts of your gun into anything that you like. So it's kind of got this whole, like having a new kind of weapon that made you do like these kind of like multiple customizable things. I guess you could say it was Brink. I guess you could say Brink. This game does kind of remind me of Brink a little bit with the whole animation stuff. But the really cool thing about it is that the game is all based around weapon crafting. So you've got all these like different like weapon attachments and stuff. But as I said, everything is free, and it's all based around how much you play the game. Because as you can see, look, all these people using all these different types of guns. You've got these guys firing like these yellow laser beams of death and stuff, which is really easy. Look at my head, it's like falling off. I've just got some eyeballs in my little brain and things, which I'll talk about in a second about the aesthetics and stuff. But basically, what you get to do is you get to make all your weapons and things, but the way that you unlock more attachments and like further your weapons like strength and power is through using a tech tree in the game. And the way that you increase your tech tree's kind of like skill tree abilities and unlockables is by playing matches and just winning and having fun and stuff. And you get loads of different customizations at the start of the game. You've got like your choices from like assault rifles, sniper rifles, rocket launchers, laser guns, you name it. You can have like healing guns, so you can be like a medic and things as well, which is really unusual. But you've got so much choice, and it's all, as I said, it's all free. It's all based how much you play the game, and if you do really well in matches, you unlock these things called, I think they're called bio points. Then what you use these bio points in is the tech tree, as I mentioned, and that means you can unlock things like, you can get more attachments and clips and stocks and barrels, and then what you can also then do is even power up your weapons even more, which is excellent. So that means that the more dedicated you are to your certain, maybe favourite type of playstyle, allows you to even be more powerful to help your team out. Now what ends up moving on into now is the teamwork in the game. This entire game is based around team competitive modes, which is really awesome, because as you know, I love team-based competitive kind of gameplay and stuff in multiplayer. I hate things where it's all free-for-all and stuff. Really, really sucky. In this game, there's one called a mode called Annihilation, which is kind of like Killzone Warzone in a way, so you got like a mixture of 3 different game modes. I think there are only 3 game modes in this game so far, but I believe they will be bringing out more in the future. But at the moment, these are the ones that it's going to be mixed about in, so you can do like an unranked kind of thing, where you can do kind of like separate just these one modes in like one match, or you can do like a combination of them in ranked matches called Annihilation. So the one we're playing on at the moment is called Extraction. What you can see me doing here is collecting these little blue gem crystal things and put them in a minecart. And basically what you do is you've got to go run out and try and collect these crystals, put in the minecart, but at the same time the enemy team is doing that as well. But then as well is that you can only have one person at a time collecting the gems. So you have one person in your team allowed to collect these gems, and the rest of the team members have to try and protect you or try and distract and stop the enemy team from scoring as well. It's really addictive. It gets really frenetic. You may also notice as well that the game's frame rate is getting a little bit stuttery. Now this is one thing I just want to point out quickly too, is that I can run this game really, really well, but I have actually ended up having to reactivate the in-game overlay on Steam. As you know, there's like an overlay thing so you can chat to all your friends and stuff. But what ends up happening is if you reactivate that on this game for some reason, the frame rate goes horrible, and I have no freaking clue why. It might be because maybe Steam steals a little bit of your like computer resources or something, or maybe it messes with the performance of the game. But during this match, I ended up having that activated, and so I just want to say I'm really sorry if some of the gameplay looks a little bit frame ratey in the future. It shouldn't look like that. I have actually disabled it later on now. But it's one of those things where if you want to actually like buy in-game purchases and stuff like the aesthetics, you have to actually use the Steam overlay, which really sucks. It's really annoying. But anyway, we're not going to let that bug us. We're going to talk about the game and what even more awesome. Like, look how violent and bloody it is. It's crazy. So I just blew my face off, which is disgusting. I think some of my leg parts as well and things. Now, you may notice that, like, body parts can fly off. You can walk around with, like, a massive bullet hole in your chest. You can see all your guts just, like, flapping around and stuff. It's disgusting. But at the same time, it's very comical and in a very tasteful and humorous way. Now, this is just, like, a little bit of a side note. It's, like, nothing of, like, importance or anything. But to the aesthetic point of view of the game, you can do this thing where, as you can see, like, my leg is basically just, like, nearly fallen off. I think I'm about to die here. There you go. My guts are hanging out and stuff. But pretend you're playing the game and you're actually being, like, shot quite a bit. You're going to see things like a bullet hole in your chest. Your arm might be just dangling off with, like, just a bit of the bone and stuff, like, holding onto the gun and things. And what you can actually do is you can actually pick up the health kits. What the health kits do is they actually attach these little syringes to your body. And they actually attach to the certain points of your body, which have actually started to, like, basically just be, like limping off, like, little chunks of meat and things. And then what ends up happening is it ends up pumping in all this little green liquid, which I assume is, like, steroids, because as you can see, the characters are basically beefcake meatheads. And so then what ends up happening is that the body parts that start, like, to rebuild and things, which is something that, for the first time I saw it, I was quite taken aback, because obviously this game is an indie game, and so generally you'd only see that kind of, like, aesthetic polish in a game maybe that's like a AAA with, like, loads of massive budget. But it's very intriguing to see a game of this kind of, like, level and standard in, like, the industry kind of get that kind of aesthetic treating and polish. It's very, very unusual. But still, at the same time, it kind of moves on to other things as well, like the weapon customization, as I said. You know, like, loads of different types of weapons. I've got barely any, like, skin on my legs. All the meat has basically just been shot off. I need to try and find some health here, hopefully. It's really weird. So you're kind of running around going, oh, I've only got, like, bones for legs, which is really unusual. But, and so what you can end up doing is that ends up moving onwards into the weapon customization and, like, the aesthetics of your costumes and stuff too. And so, like, as you can notice, I'm using a triple barrel rocket launcher. But then you can also get things like a pentabarreled rocket launcher, which is obviously, is that like 6 barrels of a rocket? Which is nuts. As you can see, that little syringe going into my body parts and rebuilding on my legs and stuff, really, really cool. But then you can get things like, as I said, for the guns, so you can unlock things like Gatling guns, you can get things like scopes, different barrels, like flammable bullets, and like Tesla coil body part, like attachment, should I say, to your guns, which is really awesome. So you get these little things where, like, the guns can look as wacky as you do as well, which is really, really awesome. And so the thing with, like, the whole aesthetics thing as well is that you can support the game, which I think I might have mentioned previously in this video, is that you can actually put little bits of money towards the game and, like, supporting it that way into getting things like unlockable hats and see things like glasses and body armor for your character. So you start off with John Rambo, as you can see here, but you can buy things like backwards caps. I think what I ended up doing was putting down $6.99, and you can get things like, I think I bought a backwards cap, the Alien Colonial Marines body armor, which is really awesome. You get a little, like, side camera on the shoulders and stuff. Ended up getting, like, a bandana with, like, a skull to cover my face and some shades. Some really awesome aesthetics. And then what is really cool as well is that all the aesthetic costumes and stuff all pay homage to old, like, 80s and 90s action movies. So you can get things like Terminator, like the T-800 used in, like, Terminator 1, or you can get, like, the Mad Max, like, leather jacket, or you can get, like, as I said, the Alien Colonial Marines armor, or you can get, what else can you get? I think you can get, like, the Charlie Brown, kind of like the Hawaiian shirts and stuff, which is really awesome as well. And there's some really cool aesthetics, and I assume they'll be bringing them out even more later on. Oh, it seems like we won minions. Another thing you can buy too, as you can see here, is you can buy taunts. So we're going to start doing the Cabbage Patch, which is like a little teabagging kind of animation, I guess you could say, against your enemies. You get things like Gangnam Style, I guess, which is kind of unusual. But still, we're going to end this one here, and we'll talk a little bit more about the game next time, about the modes and stuff in the future. But still, I hope you've enjoyed this gameplay. It's been really awesome, and I cannot wait to show you even more in the future. Hope you check out the review too, which I cannot wait to do as well. This game has been really fun, really addictive, and if you are really excited and maybe looking for, like, a game to actually play that's free to play, which gives you all that gameplay on a plate for free for you to actually enjoy to your heart's content, then I definitely recommend this game for now. But until next time, minions, remember to show me either if you're not supposed to get giveaways, and definitely check out the Proxy Facebook page for more giveaways, competitions, and just awesome updates. And I will see you guys, girls, and minions next time. Ciao.